We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now Fields going to throw on the first play. This pass out wide to Hall. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and a couple. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Off play action, Fields. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On play action, Fields. Going right back to Wilson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Fields. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Osa Odighizuwa. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this 1st quarter of play.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll try and run again with Blue. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. It's caught. Tolbert. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
He's got his target. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. That is caught. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 35. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Prescott off play action. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the 1st down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Prescott now. Finding Williams once more, complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
Prescott to throw it. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. An ideal. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Fields. To the right side, complete to Taylor. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now 2nd and 3. To throw is Fields. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Got a man, that's Lazard. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. And Lazard's got it again. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jets are an extra point away from drawing level.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Play action now, Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Throwing, Prescott. Completes this one to Pickens. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over. New York set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Back to throw. Fields eluding the press. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Micah Parsons. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Hall. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now it's Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Osa Odighizuwa able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to the ground with Hall. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Hall again on 2nd down. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 29. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easy.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, 29 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Prescott. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On play action, Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The pickup there, 5 yards.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on 3rd down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there, and he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
On 1st down, it's Blue. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. They go again with Blue. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Prescott. Finds Pickens out right. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Looking to throw. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Will McDonald, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Now Prescott. And it's caught. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll run. This is Blue. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. Here's Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second down and 3. Fields now to throw. Throwing over, and it's Taylor on the out route that completes it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Fields. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Taylor. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again is Fields. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick is indeed good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They go with blue between the tackles. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
3rd and 4. Prescott to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 5. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Prescott now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a toss, left side, it's Blue. He will push his way down to about the 14. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Play action now. Prescott rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
And his kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. To throw is Fields. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that was prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end. Here's Fields. That's complete right side to Lazard. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Play action. It's Fields. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Off play action. Fields. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On to give, this is Blue. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 54 yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Prescott off play action. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing just about on his own goal line. Let's take it at around the 40. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now it's Fields. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Mozzie Smith, he fought through to record the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Back to throw, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal, but you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. This will be caught at about the 5. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Out of the gun, Fields. That's complete to Lazard. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. They'll look to throw here on first down. Caught. It's Wilson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Looking to throw. Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The offense on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, Fields. There's Hall bringing in another one. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Fields now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here's Fields. Throw left side to Reynolds. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Now a 3rd and 6. In motion left goes Reynolds. Fields throwing again. That is caught. And the Jets are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Outright, he finds Tolbert. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Big 3rd down, a field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
2nd down and 4. Prescott. Pass incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Toss play to the right to Blue. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On play action, Prescott. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Taken in left side, it's Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Fields. And incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. On play action, Fields. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. Now Fields. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
4th down, Fields has to have this one. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And now here come the Cowboys. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now a shotgun handoff, Blue. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add to their 4th quarter lead. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Jets now down by 10. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. All eyes on Fields. That's caught by Wilson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
Here's Fields. Pass complete to Taylor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Now Fields. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Back to throw. Fields. That's into the hands of Reynolds. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's first down. A shotgun snap, Fields. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Throwing again is Fields. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
And one last throw here for Fields. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So it's a win here for the Cowboys, and it was Dak Prescott, their quarterback, who really led the charge.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.